White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is brought to you by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. Beautiful shot of downtown Baltimore, where the White Sox will start the first of a 7-game road trip. 3 here at Camden Yards, a beautiful ballpark, as the White Sox have played much better at home than on the road, hoping to switch things around as the first of 3 against the Baltimore Orioles, a team that has had their number over the last 3 seasons. Welcome inside the booth alongside my guy. He is Steve Stone. I'm John Triffin. I am really excited to see Sean Burke on the mound here tonight. He has been so good. He's cleaned up his mechanics. Last 2 times out, he has taken his game to another level.
He's really looked like an ace, and that's exactly how he's pitched. And if you look at the numbers, you'll see exactly why. He's getting everything over the plate. The overhand hook has been terrific. And in 13 2/3 innings, he's given up 11 hits and only 2 runs. He's fanned 14. He's walked only 2. So he's getting ahead early. He's wiping out these hitters. And the last 2 times out, he's looked like the ace of this staff. Now, that belongs to Davis Martin. But Burke is pitching like an ace, and he's going to need it here tonight. These Orioles have been tough on the Sox, and hopefully they can take the ball out in right and right center field tonight.
Coming up, game 1 here in Baltimore. The White Sox have been living with the long ball. Second most home runs hit in baseball. First pitch. It's coming up next. White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is presented by Toyota. Visit your local Chicagoland Toyota dealer or Toyota.com today. Let's go places. By Davis Law Firm, your Chicago lawyer. By Prevagen, made for your brain. And by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. That's Wintrust. Visit wintrust.com/here to learn more.
I do not think that will ever be topped.
Hey, I'm Chuck Arfine. You're watching Chicago Sports Network.
Getting ready for first pitch here. Your Chicago White Sox taking on the Baltimore Orioles. And Will Venable, in his second year as the manager for the White Sox, has still never beat this Orioles team. Don't know how or why, but for whatever reason, the Orioles have just had the White Sox number over the past few years.
They have, but it's been a different Orioles team this year. They've been banged up. A lot of teams have injuries. The Orioles have had a few. And they've had a hard time pitching. But Pete Alonso, who they got from the Mets, has had a terrific year for them, and he's leading the way offensively. So if you can pitch around him and neutralize him, you're in pretty good shape against the Orioles. This is a very good park for left-hand hitters. The Sox have a bunch of them. They should really enjoy it here at Camden Yards.
Orioles handed the White Sox 3 consecutive losses in Chicago early to start this season. White Sox were just 6-13 to start the year, the worst record in Major League Baseball. Then the offense picked up, the pitching got better, and things turned around for this White Sox team. Here's Sean Burke getting set to make the start. Played his college ball not far away in College Park, Maryland, at the University of Maryland, so he is excited to get this start here in Baltimore.
This can be a pretty good place to pitch if you can throw away to the left-hand hitters and use that spacious straightaway left field. A lot of room to roam in center field, and we're going to know early how Shane Baz is going to be. You watch the first inning, he's got a great knuckle curve straight over the top. Now, he depends on guys expanding their strike zone. If you lay off that pitch and he gets behind early, it could be a tough night for him. If the Sox are swinging at that pitch, he's going to be in pretty good shape. He's a hard thrower, a big man at 6'3", 200 pounds, and he came over from Tampa Bay in a deal that sent 5 guys to Tampa for a very young right-hander with great stuff.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for your Chicago White Sox. It is Sam Antonacci leading things off, Miguel Vargas at third base, Colson Montgomery at short, Kyle Teel behind the plate. This is an interesting one. Randall Grichuk usually starts only against lefties, but he's got great numbers in his career against the Orioles, so he gets the start against the righty tonight. Montgomery, Peters, Mydroth, and Jacob Gonzalez at first.
And there is a look at Shane Baz on for his 17th start. His ERA a little bit over 4. As you can see, he will strike out a whole lot of guys. He'll also walk too many guys. And the stuff is good, but he throws away to just about all the right-hand hitters. If he establishes inside, he's even tougher. But if the Sox will look away, they're going to be in pretty good shape against Baz. Let's take a look at the defense. it's going to be Ward, Cowser, and Beavers in the outfield left to right with Alexander, Henderson, Holliday, and Alonso at first base. Adley Rutschman's got the plate, fresh off a couple of stints on the injured list. And this has been a woeful Oriole defense. They've really struggled this year. The weather is presented by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. It's 87 degrees, humidity 48%. The wind, somewhat of a factor, 6 miles an hour, right to left field.
Get used to this weather, because on Wednesday we were expecting triple digits here in Baltimore.
But fortunately, it's very humid. And there you look at Bruce Streckman, 11% above Major League average away to right-handers.
All right, here we go. Antonacci ready in the box. And he attacks the first one in the air to left field as Ward moves to his right. Just one pitch and an out to start this ball game.
Boz is going to probably top out around 96. Maybe on occasion he can touch 97. But the big overhand knuckle curve is his pitch if he's throwing it for strikes. That remains to be seen if he can do that.
Miguel Vargas has been the hottest bat in the lineup for the White Sox as he steps in here with one down. Over his last 5 games, he is 9 for 19. 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. He is on a tear right now.
Outfield playing him straight away, and it is a sun field in center and right.
Every home run he hits going forward will add to his career high 19 home runs this season.
Ball's going to go out to left center field. Only 363 to left center. But it does get a little deeper in straightaway left.
As much power as we've seen from Vargas this year, he's still known for his patience and his eye at the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Rips this one down the line in left field, and it's a fair ball. Ward will have to play it out of that corner as Vargas decides to stop at second. A 1-out double.
That was Boz's attempt to get the ball inside on a right-hand hitter, and he has trouble doing that. This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty. And this is a bullet down the line. Miguel, a very aggressive base runner, thinking about 3 bases, but Ward gets there quickly enough, gets it back in, and makes a good solid throw to third.
So the White Sox are ready with a runner in scoring position for Colson Montgomery as he fouls back that pitch.
It's only 318 down the right field line. There is a high scoreboard, but it's pretty easy to hit it over that scoreboard, and certainly it goes out in right center field.
You've seen that Colson has been very streaky this season. When he is hot, he has been red hot at the plate. But currently over his last 9 games, hitting .152.
Well, the scouting report is pretty simple. They throw a lot of high fastballs. If he can lay off the high fastball, eventually the pitchers have to come to him.
1-1. Very inviting right field for Colson Montgomery over the course of this 3-game series. Just a beautiful setting here in Baltimore. Walked over to the ballpark, walk around the Inner Harbor. One, 2. In the air to left center field. It is Ward, the left fielder, with the catch. And there's now 2 away.
Will was talking before the game of trying to take advantage of this defense and the fact that the Orioles have been very porous. They have the 2nd most unearned runs in baseball. And when that happens, it really depresses a pitching staff, because if you're giving major league teams 4 and 5 outs in an inning more times than not, you're probably going to get hurt.
Part of the reason why they just haven't found that consistency here this first half of the season. Kyle Teal, check that swing, and the ball gets away as Vargas will scoot to third.
But it is a strike. That was called by Nate Tomlinson, third base umpire. Here's a look at Adley Rutschman, who's been on the injured list twice. He was there for concussion protocol, and he's had a few assorted injuries over the last couple of years, but he was 1-1.
Teal didn't fully commit to that fastball either, but it's 0-2.
You've got to lay off that knuckle curveball in the dirt. Boz likes to throw that a lot to the left-handers.
See if White Sox can take advantage of the Vargas double. One ball, two strikes. And that one is bounced as Teal scurries to get out of the way of that one.
We told you about that big knuckle curveball, and if Boz is not hitting with that, then he's going to have to come at hitters with his fastball, which is good but not great. We'll watch it again. Good stop. That's a tough ball to handle, and Rutschman made sure that the first run of the ball game doesn't score.
Vargas taking his lead at third. And the knuckle curve landing called strike three. Bottom of first we go. Sean Burke to the mound when we come back. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. Gunnar Henderson has had a slow start to his season. Taylor Ward's in left field. Adley Rutschman behind the plate. Pete Alonso, that was the big offseason acquisition. He has really picked things up at first base. Basayo DHing, Beavers, Cowser, Alexander, and Jackson Holiday at second.
Sean Burke goes to the mound for his 13th start, his 17th appearance, ERA of 3.71. It's a good one. A lot of strikeouts, and lately very few walks. Orioles do have some left-handed thunder in this lineup. Henderson, one of those guys with the 16 home runs. That's how Burke is going to use his stuff with the four-seamer backed up by the knuckle curve, a slider, a sinker on occasion, very few cutters or changes.
It's got to feel good as a starting pitcher when you're in a groove like Sean Burke is in right now. The last two outings have been outstanding for him.
Well, that's why for a starting pitcher, the first inning is of critical importance. You get off to a good start, you start feeling really good about your stuff on a given night.
Slashed the other way as Antonacci comes in throwing to second, but it's a leadoff double for Gunnar Henderson.
Pretty good fastball. This actually is probably off the plate. And he runs it into a two-base hit. Henderson with very good speed.
Brings up the left fielder, Taylor Ward. As a slider, not called, but a challenge from Kyle Teal.
Pitch is called a ball, the catch is challenging.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile, as we'll take a look.
And that had the whole plate.
The pitch is a strike, the count is 0-1.
Nice job by Teal. Ward has been very tough on Burke over the course of his career. He's the one guy in this lineup that has. He's 4 for 9 against him with a couple of doubles and 2 driven in.
In the air to right center field as Peters to his left making the catch. Henderson tagging. Will advance to third with just one out.
Let's take a look at the defense and how Will puts them out there tonight. It's Antonacci, Peters, and Montgomery in the outfield left to right, with Miguel, Colson, Chase, and Jacob in the infield. We told you about Kyle Teal behind the plate. And Burke now with the first run of the ball game 90 feet away. He's got to deal with the switch hitting Adley Rutschman. Infield in at all four positions. Will probably thinks this one is not going to be an explosive offensive output, so he wants to try to cut off the run early.
Rutschman lines this one to left field as Antonacci fires it into the plate, but it is cut off as Gunnar Henderson will tag and score. Orioles a 1-0 lead.
So after the double, a couple of fly balls, moves up the base runner, and the sacrifice fly. RBI number 41 for Rutschman. Orioles break on top.
Here's the polar bear, Pete Alonso. Acquired as a free agent from the Mets in the offseason. The big deal really alerted Major League Baseball that the Orioles wanted to be contenders this year, but they got off to a slow start.
Look at those numbers. 19 home runs, 58 driven in. That doesn't surprise you. The fact that he can hit the ball out of this park doesn't surprise you. What is surprising is that he's played a wonderful defensive first base. They knew that he was competent down there. It turned out that he's better than that for this Oriole team that really needs some offense. And it helps if he can pick it at first.
Hit his 19th home run of the season yesterday. As we take a look at the runs batted in leaders here in Major League Baseball. Third in baseball, second in the American League. The other surprising thing from Pete Alonso this season is that 10 of his 19 home runs have been hit the opposite way, and that ties a career high for him.
This is a great park to go the opposite way. It's pretty spacious in left field.
1-2 from Burke.
Nice job by Kyle as he moves to smother that one. That's just a good habit to get into. There's nobody on base. Nothing happens if you let it go, but you keep practicing digging balls out of the dirt and making sure that nothing gets by. It's actually a very nice play.
Sinker just missing down. After the shakeoff, Burke delivers his 3-2. Got him swinging on the slider. It's the Orioles striking first, and the Sox trail after one. Top of the second, White Sox trail the Orioles 1-0. This half inning is brought to you by Wintrust. With Connor McKnight on the field, Steve Stone, I'm John Schriffen. We appreciate you spending your Monday night with us as Randall Grichuk will step in, getting the start against a righty. Sinker over the heart, strike one. Will Venable clearly looking at the lifetime numbers for Grichuk against the Orioles as he has hit the Birds really well.
Something about that Oriole uniform that he really likes. If you can lay off that knuckle curve, he's going to give you a fastball to hit. More times than not, it's going to be middle away. He's toyed with occasionally coming inside, but it cost him a double to Vargas in the first inning.
Rounds it to the left side. It is Alexander at third, the sidearm throw. Grichuk retired to start this second inning. Let's check in with Connor for his scoop from the clubhouse.
All right, John, the White Sox haven't named a starter for Wednesday's game yet, but it is more likely than not going to be Noah Schultz. He's in the dugout for the White Sox, not here for just the crab cakes, although they are delicious here in Baltimore. And you're right to point out Grichuk's numbers against the Orioles, but the other thing Will Venable's paying attention to is the weather and the schedule. It's going to be hot the next couple of days, and there's a lot of games before the All-Star break, so he's looking for opportunities to get Grichuk and other guys into the lineup, maybe in spots that you wouldn't always see them, like Grichuk against the righty here. He'll use the bench, and the bench has rewarded the White Sox a whole lot this season.
Guys like Andrew Benintendi, a chance to get off his feet here in this first game of the series. White Sox in the middle of a stretch of 19 games over 20 days. You don't want to get caught looking ahead to that big 4-game series in Cleveland.
Not the way the Orioles have played against the Sox over the last few years. You can't really take them for granted, even though they have been struggling up and down this lineup. But they're looking for a way to shore up their defense, and it's pretty hard to do.
Cowser had an electric game last night. 3 big plays in center field, but you said it. White Sox are going to try to take an extra base off the corner outfielders.
And word here in Baltimore is that Cowser is an exceptional corner outfielder, either left field or right field. But because he doesn't have blazing speed, he's a good but not a great center fielder, but that's where he's playing because they don't have anybody else right now.
Inside with the fastball missing, ball 4 to Braden Montgomery. That White Sox walk is presented by IDOT. You drive, you text, you pay. It's not a game.
Alexander in very close at third, so the word is out that Peters will occasionally lay one down, but lately he's been hitting more doubles than bunting for base hits. One of the things that the Sox have been working on, and they've been doing a great job of it, is base running, because in some places it's been a lost art. But not with the Sox. There's a lot of emphasis on anything in the dirt. If you see a knuckle curveball in the dirt, that's when Will wants him to start to run.
One of those points of emphasis all the way back in spring training, that first step, whether it be on the bags, out of the box, or even defensively, they really wanted to work on the quickness for this White Sox team.
Well, this game is won or lost 90 feet at a time. If you take the 90 feet, you're in good shape. If you give it up, sometimes it comes back to bite you.
That one is hit hard, but right at Holiday. And they're going to double up Montgomery at first. Tough break for the Sox. It was hit hard by Peters. Well, that'll do it for the top of the second. Time to look at the lines to watch presented by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. We take a look at Sean Burke's strikeout total for today. Steve, you like the over or the under at 5.5?
That's pretty high over, but I'll take the over because I think he's going to be around for a while in this game.
We also like even money.
Absolutely.
Samuel Basayo, the DH, leads things off here for the Orioles as he fouls that one off.
Basayo has big power, probably the most power on this team. You can see 12 and 36 on the power numbers in 71 games. It's pretty decent for a guy used mostly as a designated hitter.
Just 21 years old, and they signed him to a long-term extension last season.
He's not going to be able to hit that high fastball if Sean wants to go back there. There it is. He barely got a piece of it.
We've noticed the stuff has really ticked up for Sean Burke. He's been living in that 97, 98 range with his fastball. Breaking ball in the air to left center field as Peters calls for it and avoids Antonacci coming through, out number 1.
Sam's got to give way there, and I'm pretty sure Peters called for it. He's the captain of the outfield and almost ran into Sam. Watch it again. He's saying, I got it, and Sam doesn't want to give way. That's not real good communication and something you don't want to see. At the last instant, they avoid a nasty collision.
Brings up the right fielder, Dylan Beavers. Even the misses for Burke has not been as large as they were to start the season. Had a neck issue that kind of threw off his mechanics, but he's really cleaned things up as of late.
He's a big man, and big pitchers especially have a hard time repeating the motion over and over again. A lot of moving parts on a guy 6'6", and so he wanted to break it down to simplicity, be able to repeat his motion over and over, and with it the command has gotten much better.
Command, also velocity. It's been a simpler, cleaner delivery to the plate.
We're seeing 97. Occasionally you can get it there 98. Last couple of starts, he's thrown a lot of strikes.
Landed with the cutter, then the knuckle curve. And 2-2 the count here to Dylan Beavers.
And knowing you got 7 straight games on this road trip, you really want to see Sean go deep into the game.
His confidence has also got to be at an all-time high. You get wins over the Yankees and the Guardians in your last 2 outings. You feel like you can take on anybody.
Well, he and everybody else in that dugout know that the Orioles have been very tough on the Sox the last couple of years.
Fastball by him at 98. This is the Sean Burke we love.
You get ahead, then you stay upstairs to the left-handers, and you're not going to have a lot of problems. This one had the strike zone, the upper reaches of the zone, and he threw it by him at 98.
4th whiff we have seen by Baltimore batters already to start this game, as Colton Cowser steps in.
He hits fastballs pretty well. He's had some problems with the breaking ball. A lot of hitters do. Lately he's gotten better. Used to be you could just spin it up there and get him out rather easily, but these days he's starting to adjust because he's seeing a lot of breaking balls.
We're talking about his defense. Maybe had one of the best defensive games of his career yesterday. He made 2 outstanding plays with the glove. Might have even robbed a home run, and then the 3rd play threw out a runner trying to stretch a double into try to stretch a single into a double at second.
This is when normally you'd go to that hook and pretty much end the at-bat. You'll see what Teal wants and what Burke accepts. There was a good knuckle curve, and Cowser just barely able to stay alive.
It's location with that breaking ball, too. He's now being able to throw it at the bottom of the zone instead of hanging it like it was earlier in the season.
You can throw a high curveball that's not a hanger, but when you see it just come up spinning, that's what the hitters really like.
1-2. Stuck in the glove of Teal. 3rd strikeout so far tonight for Sean Burke. Welcome back to Baltimore. This half inning is brought to you by Hyundai. White Sox trail the Orioles 1-0 as we start this top of the 3rd. It'll be 8-9-1 in the order for the Sox, starting here with Chase Mydroth.
See, Bob's very comfortable with throwing everything from the stretch, which means he's spent a few innings in the bullpen during the course of his very young career.
Former 12th overall pick of the Pirates back in 2017. Spent the first 5 years of his big league career with the Rays and then was traded to the Orioles for the bunch of prospects. And then Baltimore gave him a 5-year, $68 million extension, the largest contract given to a pitcher in Orioles history.
Well, there's no doubt he's got a terrific arm. Like most pitchers, if he can get the other stuff over the plate, he's usually pretty tough.
Big rip from Mydroth.
One of the things that does jump out at you when you look at the numbers. Last year for Tampa Bay, 10-12. But he fanned 176 guys in 166 innings.
He does have big stuff. A wipeout arsenal. But Chase Mydroth, he's noticing that last series against the Royals, really cutting his swing down a little bit more, looking for contact to put it in play.
Well, there's a time to think about power. More times than not for Chase, he's thinking about contact.
3-2. And he will work a walk to start this third. Let's go to Connor for some news and notes.
7 years into his career, Luis Garcia Jr. is having an unreal season. The Nationals outfielder has homered 6 times in the last 6 games with an .850 OPS. Bo Bichette is back in Toronto. That game just about to get started. 748 career games for Bichette as a Blue Jay. Kyle Schwarber has helped lift the Phillies out of the cellar by launching home runs. Only 2 teams in MLB history have had such a dramatic first-half turnaround.
Jacob Gonzalez shoots this one to the gap in right center field. They're going to wave in Mydroth. The throw to the plate is late. And the Sox will tie it up here in the third. An RBI double for Jacob Gonzalez.
That leadoff walk comes back to bite Boz. And there you look at a fastball. It's tailing away, but Jacob drives it in the gap. This ball hard hit, no chance for Cowser or Beavers, and then chases off to the races.
Baltimore is pinching in at the corners defensively, but Antonacci ripping that first pitch foul.
He's not going to lay too many down, but he does want to pull this ball. Alonso is even with the bag, but off the line at first. And Alexander is on the grass at third.
Good take from Antonacci as that cutter misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Highest batting average with runners in scoring position, Sam Antonacci, over 400. Throw down to second as Gonzalez gets back to the bag safely.
The odds are you're not going to get him at second base, but what you want to do is shorten up the secondary lead. They've already shown they can throw behind him. And if they take 1 step off the secondary lead, it's a lot more difficult to score on a base hit.
Antonacci has been Mr. Consistent. 22 games in the month of June, a .321 batting average. That is 10th best in the American League.
Doesn't mind on occasion getting hit. I mean, it can't be comfortable, but that's part of the on-base percentage, and he does it very well.
Two balls, 2 strikes the count here to Antonacci.
Sam has been hit 16 times this year. Still nobody out here in this third inning. A fly
Fly bottle center will back up Cowser as that one continues to carry. Gonzalez tagging, gets to third, one away.
Gives you an idea how strong Sam is, because he didn't get all of that, but took him all the way back to the warning track in the deepest part of the ballpark. He seemingly hit the ball off the end of the bat, but still put a charge into it, enough that Gonzalez coasts into third. You see Cowser with a decent enough jump. 410 is the deepest part of the park.
With the game tied, Orioles will bring the infield in for Miguel Vargas at the plate. His next home run will be 20 on the season, and he would be the third White Sox player with 20 or more home runs this year. The last time the White Sox had 3 players to reach that mark before the All-Star break, got to go back to 2006 when Jermaine Dye, Paul Konerko, and Jim Thome all did that. (2-0).
And we do know one thing. Miguel Vargas does have the 3-0 green light. Will was addressing that before the fact, and he said, I got to trust that a player has a pretty good conception of the strike zone and what pitches he can handle, and Vargas most likely has the 3-0 green light every time.
Inside, a 4-pitch walk, second walk given up here in the third.
Third walk of the ball game, and that is the difficulty for Baz, is that occasionally he loses the strike zone.
Chance for Colson to do some damage here. Flew out to center, his first time up. Baz is a guy very slow, deliberate, takes his time on the mound. Think of guys they invented the pitch clock for. Baz certainly one of them.
I would think without the pitch clock, we'd still be in the first.
Isn't it a different game now?
Very much so. And I think it's very much for the better.
Yes. You can come to the ballpark as a fan and expect around a 2.5-hour ball game, which is very enjoyable. Some Sox fans in the house. Is that a Steve Stone hat?
Yes, it is. It's a bucket hat, which is really effective if you have a bucket head.
Could have used that on my walk over here.
A little warm, was it?
It wasn't even just that it was warm. The sun was so strong, there was no shade as you walk around that harbor. I mean, a beautiful setting, a beautiful view. Yeah, I could have used one of those.
Come in handy.
Ball one strike. Runner takes off from first. Throw down to second. And Henderson cut off that throw.
Baz wasn't looking at Vargas, and Miguel took advantage of it. He's not looking at him yet. He gets a running start, looks back for contact, and it's a high throw to second base. So Miguel now has swiped 11 bags. He's only been caught twice. Infield now forced to come in at all 4 positions.
See if Colson can rip one through. Up and in, ball 3.
I love the fact that in this at bat, he's just watched a couple of high fastballs, because if he lays off that pitch, he's going to be very dangerous.
3-1. Colson was ready for that one as he rips it foul. do you think as a pitcher when you see a swing like that in a big hitting count?
Well, you know that he was looking for a fastball. And now the knuckle curve's a tough pitch to throw because you got the go-ahead run 90 feet away.
3-2.
He did go to the curve. That one was in the zone. A nice job of staying alive by Colson. He's second on the team in getting hit by pitches. He's been hit 9 times.
Kyle Teal waiting on deck. Runners on at second and third, 1 out. And a fastball catches the inside corner, strike 3.
That had the inside part of the plate. Boz didn't want it there. The target was away. Colson shaking his head. He knew it was a strike.
White Sox have been really impressed with Kyle Teal coming off the injured list and just the way he thinks about the game. It's so much more mature than his first year in Major League Baseball.
A lot of responsibility if you're going to be a major league catcher. It does take a while to learn the intricacies of the position because you've got to do a lot of studying. You've got to know each and every one of your pitchers and what turns the light on for them. You certainly have to know the opposing pitcher because you're still a hitter. And then you have to game plan around your pitcher and what are his strengths and what are his weaknesses.
Broken bat, just gets past the pitcher. Henderson can't make the play as 1 run will score. And now Vargas, he'll be hung up. They will tag him out for the final out, but the Sox get 1 and take the lead, scoring 2 here in this 3rd inning.
Let's take a look at this play again, and Henderson can't get the throw off. This goes as a base hit and a run batted in, but Miguel Vargas very aggressive. Only unfortunately you need some selectivity. He's got no chance to score here. So it ends the inning in a rundown and tagged out by Rutschman, but not before the Sox take the lead.
So Sean Burke back to the bump, facing Blaze Alexander, 8-9-1 in the Orioles order here in this home half of the 3rd.
Alexander's been swinging it very well. And although he's not the greatest third baseman around, they certainly like his bat in the lineup.
Up and in.
Chases him out of there with a high riding fastball.
He's been one of the biggest surprises on this team so far for the Orioles. Spent the first 2 years of his career in Arizona. Traded to Baltimore and having a breakout year this season. Burke just leaning on the fastball. The last 2 by him.
Seven swings and misses by Orioles hitters to this point. Coming into this inning, Burke had thrown 28 pitches, 21 of them for strikes. So the command has been pretty good again tonight.
4 straight fastballs. And the count is now full here to Alexander. use him to start the bottom of the third. It's now time for a message from Hank and Law.
Colson, it's important to put the work in, isn't it?
Absolutely. Practicing early, staying late helps me stay locked in.
And if you've been injured, my team is here to help you. Call 312-6-million. Injury law made personal. That's Hank and Law.
Bottom of the order is Jackson Holliday. One of those promising young players, part of the core for this Orioles team, just has not got off to a great start. Up the middle and underneath the dive of Mydroth. Alexander goes first to third. And the Orioles threatening.
This one off the end of the bat, just barely getting by Mydroth at second, putting runners at the corners. Now you move to the top again, and Henderson, who doubled down the left field line in the first at bat.
Smile from Holliday, just his 20th hit of the season. As the lineup turns over. Henderson coming into play tonight was just 1 for his last 18. And when asked about his struggles, he said, "I don't even know how to describe it. It's probably one of the most frustrating things I've ever been through." His manager, Craig Albernaz, has talked about it, says he will not move him down in the order, sticking with his young star.
Even with a batting average that's a lot lower than everybody would like, he's still at 16 home runs and driven in 39. So the power numbers are pretty good. You got to keep a close eye on Holliday at first base. He's 3 for 3 in stolen bases. And that's what he's doing.
Sean and Steve on the same page. One. Trying to get out of this jam. First and third, nobody out.
Infield back in the middle. If the Sox can get 2, they'll concede the tying run.
In on the hands and fouled. Seeing when Burke has been in trouble or behind an account, he's leaning on the fastball early in this game with the Orioles.
And he's jammed some pretty good hitters. Then when he tried to get a little something extra on and threw it high and wide of the plate.
Third full count for Sean Burke tonight.
Let's see if Holliday is off to the races at first. You would think the Orioles want to stay out of the double play.
Here's the payoff. Breaking ball outside. And the second walk given up by Burke will load the bases.
Gordy is the one guy in this lineup that has hurt Burke over the course of his career. Kyle Teal out to talk with him. Telling him to get that concentration back. Leadoff walks are tough enough to pitch around. But you walk 2 in the same inning, and now your bases loaded, nobody out.
This is what plagued Burke. His first outing in June in Philadelphia, he walked 5. Then his next time out against the Dodgers, walked 5 again. That's when he realized what he needed to fix and clean up. That got him back on track. Still nobody out for Taylor Ward. Hit hard, gloved by Vargas. And there's out number 1.
Ward has always seen Burke well, and no exception that time. Miguel is over toward the line. You see him there, and he's able to keep this out of left field. That scores a pair and puts runners at second and third if that gets by. So now you're a double play ground ball away from getting out of this inning.
It was 98 miles per hour off the bat of Taylor Ward. And a challenge from Kyle Teal, because that one looked really good.
Call the ball. The catcher's challenging.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile.
I mean, that's not even close to being a ball.
Pitcher's strike. Count is 0-1.
That's why we have ABS.
Worked out pretty well.
Rutschman drives this one to left field as Antonacci makes the catch. Tagging from third is Alexander. He will score and tie this game as Adley Rutschman has driven in both runs for the Orioles tonight.
On 2 sacrifice flies. So the leadoff walk comes back to score. But still, Burke just 1 out away of getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam.
But you've got to deal with this guy, Pete Alonso. Sean Burke, 1 round 1, as he got Alonso to strike out swinging. Such a different at bat. You can start off the guy strike 1, which Sean Burke is now starting to do.
A little tardy on that fastball, middle away.
What do you like here with this 0-2 pitch?
Like to go to a slider again. That's what got him the first time up. Let's see if he goes back there.
50th pitch of the game for Burke. Climbs the ladder. Zach Bove, the pitching coach, Will Venable, both looking on. 0-2. Got him on the slider. Good call, Steve.
That's what it was set up for, and that's how he comes away with only 1 run scored in a tie game.
Welcome back. The White Sox have made themselves known to everybody in baseball by virtue of being on top of the AL Central. But just how good is this team compared to some other, maybe more well-known and veteran players throughout baseball? Well, that's what we'll take a look at in this edition of Slide Please. There's 3 different players. One of them, I'll tell you, is a White Sox player, but you at home, along with John and Steve, get to play along. Can you pick them out?
Good question. I'll take C. And now we'll see.
We will indeed. Randall Grichuk getting the start against the righty. A ground out to third, his first time up. A great conversation at his locker before the game. He said he's really enjoyed just the vibe, the energy, and the young guys on this team. He said, you know, I don't need to step in or say anything as a veteran guy, but if they come to me, I have always been there for them.
And I think the two vets on his team, Benintendi and Grichuk, are almost similar personalities in that they're willing to talk to anybody about anything, but they're not going to vocally take over the clubhouse. They're going to wait back. They've both seen everything. They've both been around, and they're both very valuable to this team.
Dribbler back to the pitcher. It is Boz, the long flip as Grichuk is retired. Let's go back to Connor.
We'll give you one more look at three different players and their stats so far this season. Slide, please, and we'll reveal your White Sox player. There he is, Tristan Peters, right in the middle, holding his own against household names like Andy Pajes and Randy Orozo. Randy, what do you think, boys?
I think if you told me he was going to be here in spring training at this point, pretty much everyday center fielder, I don't think we would have agreed.
Ripped down the line. Braden Montgomery digging for two as Beavers has trouble getting it out. But Montgomery will shut it down. A one-out double.
Unfortunately, not familiar with this park. Braden probably would have had three. This ball down the line rattles around. Beavers does have some problems with it. But the intricacies of this type of base running means when you get close to second, you got to pick up your third base coach. And Jerschley will tell you if, in fact, you're to put on the brakes or keep on coming. This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty.
So here is the mystery man, Tristan Peters. Not only would we have said there's no way he would be at this point, I wasn't even sure he was going to make the roster out of spring training.
Well, they got a guy who bunted a lot and could play center field. They thought, what a good insurance policy he is. What he's turned into is a pretty good hitter who has at times been a doubles machine.
And he wasn't even the everyday center fielder to start the season. Acuna, that was the experiment. And then Peters showed just the range. Fastball on the corner, not called, but a challenge by Adley Rutschman.
Called up ball, catcher's
Looked
challenge.
to me like it might have had the corner.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitch is a strike, strike three.
So it is called strike three on Tristan Peters. Two down for Chase Mydroff as the fastball missing outside. Top of the fourth, this half inning is brought to you by Toyota. Chase has walked, scored the first run of the game for the White Sox. Six hits for Chase Mydroff over the course of that three-game series against Kansas City.
Nobody paying any attention to Montgomery out at second base.
2-2. Lays off that knuckle curve. It's like we're seeing a different Chase Mydroff now. Not chasing pitches.
I think he realizes that this situation specifically in this ballpark with the long distance and straightaway left, this cries out for contact here at 3-2.
On the ground, it is Holiday at second. And the White Sox will strand the double by Braden Montgomery.
Follow our Sox at ChicagoSportsNetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side.
The other camera, Natalie. Natalie does an incredible job in the truck for us. She's from this area, so she's taking some time off and enjoying Baltimore. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we had her.
Oh. Ooh, that went right in the dugout, right over the rail, and hopefully everybody is okay. That's pretty scary.
Samuel Basayo. There's a little more pine tar on that one.
Watch it again.
Woo.
Fortunately, hit the Gatorade container and nobody else. Yikes.
Basayo was signed to an 8-year, $67 million extension last year. Burke is looking for a quick inning. 0-2. Got him swinging. That knuckle curve is filthy. One down here in this bottom of the fourth. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law.
If you get ahead, you can use this pitch to wipe him out. Good curveball in the dirt. Nice stop by Teal. And that's 5 strikeouts. One more, you can go to the window.
He's got 10 swing and misses already in this ball game. And one of the things he cleaned up, especially heading into the season, the tunneling, that knuckle curve coming out of the same slot as his fastball.
It's worked pretty well to this point. They're not able to read the curveball, certainly. They only have 2 hits to this point.
Really worked on when he spins it, instead of spinning up and you can read it easier, it comes out a little flatter like a fastball.
That time he went to it but left it upstairs.
Dylan Beavers swinging back in the second inning. Here's pitch number 60 tonight. This one is hit well in the right center field. It's a long run for Peters, and he makes the catch as he crashes into the wall. What a grab by Tristan Peters. Yeah, give him a round of applause.
Well, that's just an outstanding effort, keeping his concentration, knowing that he's on the track already and he knows he's going to hit the wall. Time for our Allstate Good Hands replay. No sooner does the ball nestle in his glove than bang, there's the wall. Great play. And the second big out of the inning. Beavers can't believe it.
Peters is from Canada, and he did grow up playing hockey. So he said, I have a history of crashing into the boards. And you could see it on display there in center field.
Plenty of room to roam out there, but he's able to run that rocket down in right center field.
Is he the biggest surprise this season?
I believe that if you think about spring training, you realize that nobody thought this was going to happen. Him to be the everyday center fielder, but we know he's got the speed. And we know that he can chase him down pretty much anywhere. Plus, he's not worried about the wall at all. Because if that was on your mind, he never makes that last catch. You watched him in spring training, you said, you know, yeah, he can bunt. And he can run a little bit. Good insurance policy. Well, it's turned out to be a lot more than that. Sean got that one up there at 99 miles an hour. So the velocity is still there.
One ball, two strikes, the count here to Colton Cowser. You know what's scary? Burke says he still feels like there's a little room where he can clean up his delivery even more and raise the floor so that his fastball can sit more consistently 96 to 98.
That's what we've seen a whole lot of here tonight.
Did he go around? No, he did not. That's Nate Tomlinson on the call at third. Burke looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. Excuse me, his second. And Burke is going to challenge from the mound.
I think that was off the plate.
The pitcher is challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Pitchers usually think everything's a strike. And this one just barely misses. So that's a good challenge. I mean, it was certainly close enough, but unfortunately, it was not in the zone.
You don't see many pitcher challenges.
Nope. Well, because, like I say, pitchers believe everything's a strike, but the catcher has the best look. And when we look at the numbers, it is the catcher who by far has a higher percentage on the challenges.
So Cowser takes off. And no chance for Kyle Teal. Stolen base.
Burke paying no attention to Cowser. Cowser picked that up, and he was off to the races. Burke, one of the easier guys to steal on, especially second base.
So Blaze Alexander will use his time in an 0-2 count, as the Orioles have been 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position so far tonight. Burke peeks at the runner, now comes to the plate. Got it by him at 97. Two more strikeouts here in the fourth, as this game is tied at 2. We move on to the top of the fifth. White Sox and Orioles tied at 2. This half inning brought to you by St. Xavier University. Sean Burke loving the effort from his center fielder, Tristan Peters. What a catch.
That was a highlight reel catch. If you don't make that, it could very well have been 3 bases. It hit against the wall and carry him back by him. Nine
1-2 to the plate in the White Sox order. Jacob Gonzalez, an RBI double his first time up in the third inning. He was a guy who was in a little of a funk and really snapped out of things over the course of that homestand.
One of the things he has done consistently, however, is play a very good first base, especially for a guy that's a lifetime shortstop.
Oh, 2. And you never forget your first walk-off winner. A rocket under the glove. Bobby Witt Jr. Two balls, 2 strikes here to Gonzalez.
That was a good job of staying alive because that was too close to taking. At the last instant, Jacob was able to get the bat out and keep the at bat alive because that looked like it was strike 3.
'97 past him. 1 down.
Outside part of the plate had the whole strike zone. And Boz does love outside to each and every one of these hitters. Mostly he stayed there.
What do we got there, Connor?
It's a baseball. It was a hot shot, too, off the bat of Jacob Gonzalez. I measured that thing coming in about, I would say 105, 109 miles an hour. Barehanded it right out. It was a slow roller, John. We're all fine.
It's all about the story you tell. As Antonacci will fly out to left field. Coming into play tonight, opponents were hitting .303 off the starter Shane Baz here at Camden Yards this season. That was the 3rd highest opponent batting average at home by any American League pitcher. But he has really done a nice job here with 2 outs in this 5th.
In the inning the Sox got to him, which was the 3rd, he was able to help out with a couple of walks, including a leadoff walk that scored the first run of the ball game for the Sox.
Miguel Vargas has been on base twice tonight. A double. Walked but was thrown out, getting caught up between home and third. Another screamer into the well.
There's a hot shot, John. Look out.
Wow, you're just a
Look at the
magnet
hard
tonight.
hat down here.
I know.
1 for 2, though. We're going to the Hall of Fame with those numbers.
You're going to make some little kids very happy tonight. 0-2 pitch. In the air to right center field. Cowser moving back at the wall, and he makes the grab. This man has stepped up his play. Another highlight reel catch to Rob Vargas in center.
Miguel hits the daylights out of it, unfortunately, to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. Cowser goes up, makes the catch, and ends the inning.
Welcome back to Baltimore. Bottom of the 5th we go. What have you thought of the stuff from Sean Burke so far tonight?
Well, it's been pretty good. He's limited this Oriole team to just 2 hits, the leadoff double by Henderson and the base hit by Holiday in his only at bat.
go around as Nate Tomlinson on the call at third. Both center fielders tonight have made some big catches. Tristan Peters covering a long way and crashing into the wall to hold on to it. And then Colton Cowser taking a home run away from Miguel Vargas.
Good timing on that Cowser play because it was a towering fly ball. He had a chance to get under it and make a fine play.
Nine-hole hitter Jackson Holliday. A single back in the third inning. Two-two pitch. Fastball at the knees, called strike three. Holliday is going to challenge.
Pitch is called a strike. The hitter's challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. And the call stands. Strikeout number 7 for Burke.
That one had the whole plate. Holliday obviously didn't see it real well. Most strikeouts on the four-seam fastball this year. Surprising, it's Mizorowski at the top. And Harrison, Schlitter, and Sean Burke at 51.
At the end of the bat, it is Montgomery. Unable to get the throw there in time. Let's see how they rule this.
It's unlike. It's not going to be an error. That's a base hit all the way. It's a tough play. And Henderson runs very well. Squibs it off the end of the bat. Colson playing up the middle, has to go to his right. A lot of spin on it, trying to get it there, and this one was not picked on the back end by Gonzalez. I think base hit all the way. We'll have to see how it's scored. And it is indeed ruled a base hit.
Slider starts the at-bat. Strike one to Taylor Ward, who is 0 for 2 tonight.
Henderson swiped 6 bags, but he's been caught 4 times. That's not a real good percentage.
Taking a peek over at Henderson. Bottom 5th. This half inning is brought to you by Prevagen. Sean Burke trying to get the first win against the Orioles this season. This one is lined in the air to left center field. Peters making the catch just shy of the warning track. We've seen some balls smoke to center.
This memorable moment is presented by Prevagen, and it's the fine play by Cowser robbing Miguel Vargas. This one looked like it had a chance. Long way to run. Cowser gets there and goes up. It looked like it might have left the ballpark, but good timing on the catch.
Pitch number 80 tonight from Sean Burke. It's the knuckle curve on the outside corner, strike one.
You know, it's pretty interesting. We're seeing maybe a portent of things to come. The Orioles had 1-1, the first pick in the first round, and they took Rutschman, a catcher. The second pick, Bobby Witt Jr. There are a couple of catchers and some shortstops available in the draft. And the Sox are at 1-1 with a decision to make.
Some talent in this draft coming up.
There certainly is, especially at the top of it. Some real good players, probably 1 through 15, maybe even a little deeper than that.
2 here to Adley Rutschman. Instead, he'll check on Henderson at first. A couple of sac flies by Adley Rutschman. He has driven in both runs tonight.
He's getting a whole lot better defensively. They've worked with his footwork, his release, and it's paid dividends. He also has changed the knee that he puts down when he's receiving the baseball. He went from a left knee catcher to a right knee catcher. It's improved his pop time, and it's really helped him block some low pitches. Well, they knew that he had a whole lot of talent. You draft a guy 1-1, you know he's got a whole lot of talent, but he appears to still be getting better on the defensive side of the equation. Henderson looked like he wanted to run, but in the last minute, stopped and went back to first.
All the outs for Sean Burke tonight have either been in the air or a strikeout, not a single ground out yet. 1-2 pitch. Upstairs with the sinker at 99. He's got 8 punch outs already. Top of the 6th here at Camden Yards. White Sox and Orioles tied at 2. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. White Sox fans enjoying the team this season. Getting a chance to check out the White Sox here on the road. As Chris Montgomery will pop up the first pitch. Alexander on the mound makes the catch, and there's one away.
Boz has been pretty tough. So has Sean Burke. And not much to choose from with the game knotted at 2.
White Sox have been so good in Chicago, 28-14 at home this season, but on the road a different story, just 15-25.
That's really the last thing that comes to a team that's just learning how to win. And in this case, the Sox with power at home, making it a plus. Now they got to learn how to win on the road, and getting guys taken off base through base running is not the way to do it. Not easy to win on the road anywhere. You can look up and down, and there's some pretty good teams that have losing record on the road. But again, this is a very young team. It's young top to bottom, and they will get better at knowing just exactly what you have to do to win close games on the road where you don't have the last at bat.
Foul tipped into the glove, so Kyle Teal will go down swinging, out number 2. We've seen the development in stages for this young team. That first month of the season offensively weren't really hitting their stride yet, and they worked through those struggles. And then Munetaka Murakami goes down, and you see the power still sustained as young players stepping up each and every game.
I mean, they're still second in the major leagues in home runs without Mune, and hopefully he's back in the not too distant future.
Grichuk on the ground to short. Henderson the backhand. As Shane Baz has now retired 8 straight to end this top of the 6th. Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner.
Hard of the order due up this inning. Sean Burke has been in command, especially against Alonso. Up twice, and a couple of strikeouts ended both at bats.
Alonso, a deep fly ball in the left field. Antonacci makes the catch to start this home half of the sixth.
And up and going, it's Chris Murphy.
I asked Sean Burke earlier this week what it's been like watching Davis Martin. He said it's so cool to see his success and everything that he's accomplished. But he also learns a lot from him because he said they have very similar arsenals. So when they're on the bench in the dugout, they'll be talking through things as Sean Burke will pick Davis Martin's mind about just how he attacks lefties, righties, just the kind of sequencing he does. And he's really grown and learned a lot from Davis, who has stepped it up this season.
Well, Davis has been really good pretty much each and every time. There have been a couple of disasters maybe over the last 5 starts. That's to be expected. You're going to get hit. There's a lot of good hitters in the major leagues. But by and large, Davis has been good just about every time out. And he's given the Sox what they need, which is kind of a break for the bullpen. I talked to him about coming out of the last game, and what he said to me was, look, I talked it over with Will, and I said, you know, this stuff is good, but if you need to come get me, wait till I give up a base runner. That base runner was Bobby Witt on the double, and then he was taken out, and it worked out very well for all concerned.
Sile. They sit into center field. That'll be his first hit tonight. And here comes Will Venable.
I think he's realized he's gotten a lot out of Burke with 1 out here. And Beavers, who almost hit the ball out of the ballpark in the 4th inning, due up. Will goes to the mound. And that's going to be it. Burke is going to depart after a fine job with the game tied at 2. His responsibility at first base with Basayo. So Murphy's going to come in the ball game, and as one strolls out, the other strolls in, and we'll be back. Brought to you by Orland Toyota, and it's Chris Murphy on for the 16th time with an ERA a tick above 4.5. He inherits Basayo at first base. 1 out here in the 6th inning. And Beavers, who almost hit the ball out of the ballpark, it's the first batter he's going to face.
Gets the whiff on the slider. As the bullpen has been very good recently for the White Sox.
And against a whole lot of these teams, you can't have enough lefties in your bullpen. The Guardians are a great example of that. They're a completely different team against a right-hand pitcher.
Ready? Sean Burke, he was special once again, just giving up 4 hits tonight. Only 1 of those hard hit.
See, the last series, the bullpen was exceptionally good.
Popped up, and is Vargas trotting over in foul territory. And there's out number 2. The moves coming from the crowd as Colton Cowser stepping in. Remember last year, you'd see people walking around with all kind of cow costumes and suits and paraphernalia.
He does have some pretty big power, so you got to be careful with him. Doesn't hit the off-speed pitches very well, but does catch up to a lot of fastballs. just as soon end this inning here with the lefty-lefty advantage because Alexander has been red hot. He's in the on-deck circle and swings from the right side.
Murphy's 2-0. Wrinkle with that slider gets the swing and a miss.
Crouser looked back at Bruce Greckman and said, "Is that in the strike zone?" The reason is he wants to have a pretty good idea how far that outside corner is away from him.
Backs it up with the curveball. Murphy's got Crouser guessing now. Trying to put him away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ooh.
This one just off the corner. Didn't miss by much, but it did miss.
Sayo at first, off with the pitch as the breaking ball misses, ball 4.
Zach Bove coming out to give Murphy a scouting report on Alexander, who's been one of their hottest hitters. You don't have much speed at second base in Basayo. That could factor in on a base hit.
4th walk given up by White Sox pitchers tonight. 3 from Burke, 1 here by Chris Murphy. And the Orioles have now walked in 77 straight games, the longest streak going in Major League Baseball. The guy you want to see at the plate, Blaze Alexander. He has walked and scored and struck out swinging in the 4th. Got him to pop up in shallow left center as Tristan Peters puts an end to this 6th inning. Night for Sean Burke is done. He did his job. This game is tied at 2.
Welcome back to Baltimore, and now for a trip down on the farm. Gabe Davis will start tomorrow for the Barons, a rising prospect in the system. But last night, Caleb Bonham, a grand slam, 2 doubles. He was absolutely fantastic and is our next guest on the Road to the Rate podcast coming out this week, John and Steve.
Number 1 rated prospect in the White Sox organization. He could fly through the minors.
There's a whole lot of talent down there. And a lot of the young talent is right here, and Braden Montgomery is one of those guys. Boz is yet to retire him in 2 at-bats.
A walk and a double for Braden Montgomery tonight. Already 6 doubles this season since making his debut June 9th. Not many hits tonight, just 4 for the White Sox, 4 for the Orioles.
Grant Taylor loosen up, ready to go. And the Sox looking for one lone run and then allow the bullpen to try to make it stand. Oriole pen up and throwing. Wolfram.
Slow roller, and it's going to go foul. Montgomery going through his usual routine, closes his eyes, controls his breathing, just to slow down the game at the plate. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup.
The CHSN app brings you even more White Sox coverage. Watch on-demand game replays, catch up on past episodes of top prospects, and more, all in one place. Sign up today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
There's now 9 in a row retired. Shane Baz. And he's still throwing gas at 98.
One of the reasons why they gave up 5 players for him.
Tristan Peters looking to get on for the first time tonight. He is 0 for 2. Orioles have won 18 of the last 20 meetings against the White Sox dating back to April of 2023.
Yeah, unfortunately, they've been a troublesome team.
High fastball. It is popped up. As Ward gets there for the catch, out number 2. Grab your friends and head to the park for Miller Lite Baseball and Brews. You get 1 ticket and 2 beers starting at $24. You must be 21 and over with a valid ID. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews. Cold ones on a warm, humid night here in Baltimore.
With Alexander way back at third base. Chase shortened up, but the pitch was out of the zone.
Pitch number 95 tonight.
Still plenty on it.
This is why the Orioles not done yet. They still have plenty of good pitching. If they could ever find some consistency, this is a team who could potentially make a run in the AL East.
So all of the young guys they were talking about all those years as prospects have come to the major leagues, and they all can hit. Except at this point, there's been some injuries, and guys that are supposed to get it done are not getting it done.
1-2. I think this could be the last batter for Baz, with the lefty on deck.
Command has been pretty good tonight for a guy that has had some problems throwing strikes. Leadoff walk in the second. Came home to score, and that's where the Sox scored their 2 runs in the 3rd inning.
Edgeoff making him work here. Oz will hit 100 pitches tonight with Jacob Gonzalez waiting on deck.
Crowd was cheering, but they didn't see the ball trickle away from Rutschman.
Pitch number 101. Missing down, ball 4. No movement yet from the Orioles dugout.
Albernaz with a tough decision, because Gonzalez does have a double tonight. He drove in a run in the 3rd inning.
108. That is the season high for Boz.
You would think whatever he's got left in the tank, he would break it out here. Sox are trying to get to him before he departs this game.
That walk ended a stretch of 10 in a row retired.
It's a good at bat by Chase. There was some very close pitches in that at bat, and he winds up at first, keeping the inning alive.
Good job checking that swing. Ball 2.
This will most likely, one way or the other, be the last man that Boz is going to face. That time he had to throw to first base because the pitch clock was down to 2.
Two balls and a strike to count. White Sox trying to knock out the starter here in the 7th. Hydroth, a little extra step at first. And Boz will match his season high as this next one will be pitch 108.
Alonso back at first base, giving Chase a couple more steps on a 3-2 pitch. That gap in right center looks very inviting.
Ooh. Plenty of room there between Beavers in right and Cowser in center. Three-two. It is popped up as Beavers, the right fielder, comes in. Shane Boz, 109 pitches, gets through 7.
This game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender. So level up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank. New pitcher in the ball game, and it is Grant Taylor. In the game, tied at 2. Grant on for the 32nd time, the ERA of 2.83. A lot of chase, a lot of strikeouts. And he'll be dealing with a lot of lefties this inning.
First one is Jackson Holliday. Unable to hold that swing, as Nate Tomlinson said he went around. Strike one.
Last appearance, he was overwhelming.
Taylor told me the biggest difference between last year and this year, knows that he needs to be more economical with his pitches because the White Sox like to use him multiple innings. It's the fly ball to left field, as Vargas showing the range, drifting all the way back for the out. All right, so for the last 4 years, the White Sox have not been able to solve the problem that is the Baltimore Orioles. They are just one of the tougher teams to beat here for the White Sox.
Well, you can see it tonight. I mean, their defense hasn't been good, but tonight the defense is fine, and there hasn't been a lot of hitting because the pitching has been dominant, and this is a good hitter's park.
They love you here. Can you talk to somebody? Can you say, can you be a little easier on the White Sox?
Just give us a run or two, and Grant will make it hold up.
Magical 1980 season here in Baltimore.
It was the other ballpark, which, by the way, was a great place to pitch. This park, not so much, especially with left-handers and a fairly short porch in right field.
Ground ball. Chase Madrath moving to his left. The flip in time. And 2 quick outs here for Grant Taylor. Taylor wants to be that guy who can go multiple innings. And at this point, yes, he wants to be a starter, but he doesn't really care his role as long as he's contributing.
Well, the Sox and every other team would like, one more quality starter, but the Sox have a lot of candidates as starters. They don't have is a lot of Taylors in the back end of this bullpen, because his stuff is magnificent. And that kind of stuff doesn't come around too often.
That ground out by Gunnar Henderson, the first out retired on the ground by White Sox pitchers tonight.
And the first time that Henderson has been retired tonight. So with his speed, that little chopper to the right side was welcome.
0-2. Broken bat, slow roller to Montgomery. Just a 9-pitch 7th inning for Grant Taylor.
This is our Postman Law delivery of the game. Others promise, Postman delivers. That didn't have a whole lot on it. But I'll tell you what, Connor was right there on the play. He avoided that one that had a little more on it. It was timed at 6 miles an hour. Nice play, Connor.
Thanks. In this kind of humidity, Steve, 42 actually feels like 88.
Oh, yeah. It's nice down there. Wait till the third game of this series.
Oh, I can't wait for Wednesday. That's going to be a fun one. We'll get the umbrella out.
We're expecting 100-degree weather here in Baltimore on Wednesday. Have you found a home for those balls?
There's 2 White Sox fans behind me. 2 of them both needed baseballs, so we furnished them both with a couple of game used.
See, clap it up for Connor.
There it is. That's what you do with a baseball when you
about.
find it. These 2 right here.
It's because he was wearing a Steve Stone bucket hat.
Very nice. Well placed, too. Wednesday for him is going to be a delight.
Did he go around? He did not, as Sam Antonacci plunked by another pitch.
That's really surprising because he hardly ever gets hit. Sam trying everything he can to get on base. He's done it again. This one inside. That can't feel good. That didn't hit the elbow guard, but he did wind up aboard as Grant Wolfram comes on for the 31st time. His ERA a good one at 3.33. But you put the leadoff man on to face Vargas. Normally a recipe to give up a run.
It's just the second time the leadoff has reached for the White Sox. The first time was the 3rd inning. It was a walk, and it came around to score.
You got to watch that front foot. I'm sure LaHare is probably going to talk to Mark Wagner about making sure that Wolfram actually steps toward first base. That time it looked like he might have broken the plane and mostly stepped toward the plate. Starting pitchers were both very tough tonight. Boz out of the game after 7 with 4 hits, a couple of runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts.
Sean Burke was there to match him, tying a season high with 8 strikeouts tonight.
You can see the disparity on the OPS versus lefties and righties. Both numbers pretty good, but against lefties he's tortured them this year.
Oh, 2. Kersley with a nice grab, and he's one into the stands. Good take inside as that fastball just missing off the edge.
This is really the biggest at bat of this game. You got the go ahead run at first, and 2 lefties due up after Vargas.
After the blowout in the opener of the series against the Royals, where the White Sox won 22-1. The next 2 games were just 1-run ball games. And another tight one here tonight in Baltimore.
That was hittable upstairs at 95.
Antonacci on at first, nobody out.
Close, but up and out of the zone.
Two-two pitch. And that is squibbed foul. Montgomery waiting on deck.
This is a good battle. Wolfram and Vargas. Vargas with a word for Bruce Dreckman.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat here for Miguel Vargas. That was a screamer. Connor, you good?
We're good, baby. We're good.
Okay. Okay.
Got to get that man some hazard pay.
See, we had some fun with him earlier, but that was a real one coming through. Here is pitch number 10. Inside, and it's now full.
So now the question for Will is, do you run with Antonacci? Yet to be determined. The lead has not been big to this point. Now it's a little bigger at first base.
And the Orioles thinking the same thing, as that's the second time that Wolfram has thrown over during this at bat.
Usually that means a much bigger lead.
Three-two. Fly ball into right field. And Vargas is retired for the first out in this 8th inning. That lengthy at bat. Maybe the Orioles just want to give their pitcher a little breather here.
Looks like Drew French coming out, pitching coach. He wants a word with most of the infielders, although Henderson and Holiday decide they're going to congregate around second base. And the pen up and going. Rico Garcia.
Pitchers have been in control tonight in the opener of this 3-game series against the Orioles. White Sox scoring one in the Orioles scoring one in the first. White Sox responded with 2 in the third, and then the Orioles tied it up with 1 in the 3rd inning. And that's where we stand right now. Going down for Colson Montgomery.
That one came an eyelash from getting away. Nice play by Rutschman. Quick move to his left. But watch it again. You see the right knee down. It used to be just the opposite. It used to be the left knee down would have made that play much tougher. Now, for whatever reason, with his right knee down, he's got better mobility and a quicker release to second.
How good Colson Montgomery has been against lefties so far this season. For him being an everyday guy, he says it doesn't even notice a difference, righty or lefty. 2-1.
This is a perfect slider. Catches the outside corner at the knees.
Colson is 0 for 3 with a strikeout tonight. Trying to change that here in this 8th inning. Seeing some good battles. Vargas, now Montgomery. Hit well as Cowser moving back. It's going to go off the wall in center field. They're going to wave in Antonacci. The throw to the plate. Safe! White Sox take the lead. An RBI double from Colson Montgomery. And it's 3-2 here in the 8th inning.
Jersley said, just keep coming, young man. He hit Antonacci to lead off the inning, and then this ball drilled to right center field. Time now for the slide of the game, presented by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. This one takes the high hop, and it's that hop that allowed Sam to come in under the tag. A good replay, a good throw home, but not in time as the Sox take the lead.
Big hit for Colson Montgomery. And now it's Kyle Teal looking to keep it going. Teal is 1 for 3, an RBI single in the 3rd.
Nice play by LaHare. Showed good mobility to his left.
One-two pitch. Got him swinging on the curveball, strike 3.
That's going to be it, apparently, for Wolfram. He's going to depart this one after giving up the lead, and it started with Antonacci being plunked for the 17th time this year. Scores the go-ahead run. A new pitcher is going to come in the ball game, and we're going to step out. We'll be back.
Chuck and Ozzie, presented by the Bob Lacurcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way.
New pitcher in the ball game, Rico Garcia, on for the 38th time, a fine 2.62 ERA. Now Randall Grichuk, who almost always hits the Orioles, has been very quiet tonight. It's a great opportunity here to drive home an insurance run.
Will Venable sticking with Grichuk, as Andrew Benintendi has the night off. Grichuk is 0 for 3, all 3 groundouts. Ooh, tough call there as Grichuk wants to challenge.
That ball was off the plate. It looked like it was going to be a strike, but I think it swept wide.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
It is wide.
There's a ball that counts 1-1.
Why you save at least a challenge for late in the ball game. Another one missing, and Grichuk is going to challenge again. It was called a strike.
Pitch is called a strike. The hitter's challenge.
I think Grichuk is right again.
Let's take a look. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
He is. That was a little closer, but they were both out of the zone.
Veteran knows the strike zone. 2-1. Lines this one to center field. Colson Montgomery, the windmill is on. Throw to the plate, and they got to know the ball comes out.
They had him, and the ball was kicked loose.
Bruce Dreckman signaled out. Then he saw the ball and safe at the plate. It's now 4-2 Sox on top.
Randall Grichuk does indeed come back to haunt the Orioles as he's done his entire career. For Cowser, a great throw to the plate. He charged it aggressively. Montgomery comes in, winds up kicking the ball out of Rutschman's glove. Rutschman came up, wanted to show the glove to Dreckman. He did, but it was only the glove. No ball.
2 runs here in this 8th inning. As a key play at the plate going the Sox way. Fly ball into left, as that will do it. But Randall Grichuk coming through. How about Will Venable trusting him against these Orioles?
Pays some dividends. This is a good slider. It was low and away. He took it right back up the middle, and despite a fine play by Cowser in center, the Sox score the run.
Welcome back. White Sox a 4-2 lead in the home half of the 8th inning. Grant Taylor back on the mound after a 1-2-3 7th.
He's got to go right through the heart of the order for the Orioles.
Breaking ball, strike 1, Adley Rutschman. Just a 9-pitch 7th inning. 97 upstairs past Rutschman, strike 2.
So far, Grant doesn't have that big fastball that we saw last time out, but it's still good enough. Coming straight over the top. There's a lot of deception with that high fastball especially.
After a couple shakeoffs, went with the slider. Fastball put in play in the air to left field. And Tanachi calls for it. 1 down.
Time now for the Toyota Let's Go Places upcoming schedule. And we're not going anywhere. We're staying here for 2 more with Baltimore, and then a big 4-game series with the Guardians in Cleveland. The off day, welcome on Monday, and Boston and the A's come to town.
It was a bizarre scene in the Red Sox game tonight. Wilson Contreras was ejected. He was walking back to the dugout after his at-bat and started tapping his helmet. And the umpires did not like getting shown up. He got ejected for doing that. ABS new this season.
Yep. And Wilson has always been a fiery guy. Cano loosening in the pen.
1-2 to Pete Alonso.
This is interesting from Grant Taylor because he doesn't have close to the same stuff he had last time out. But you got to deal with what you have on every given night. And if it's not your best, you have to learn how to win with less than your best. He does not have a strikeout yet.
Dialed it up to 98, but out of the zone. As the Polar Bear Pete Alonso is 0 for 3 tonight. 2-2. Taylor deals. Got him on the slider. There's his first punch out of the night.
And he's going to another pitch. Usually it's fastball, it's overhand hook. But there's the slider. And once again, out of the strike zone, Alonso goes down for the 3rd time tonight. That's a big one ahead of their most powerful hitter in Basayo.
Feels like Taylor's starting to let it loose now.
That was 99, a little bit extra. Kyle looked like he was just trying to bat it down as opposed to catch it. Rangers have taken the lead over the Guardians in Cleveland. That game in the bottom of the 7th with the Rangers leading 4-2. There was 100. There was a little something on that. Grant knows this is undoubtedly going to be his last inning of work.
Ooh, that slider is working here in Baltimore. Back-to-back strikeouts for Grant Taylor as he goes 2 scoreless. Join us at the ballpark on Friday, July the 10th for Mexican Heritage Night as the White Sox take on the Athletics at 6:40 p.m. 15,000 fans 21 and over will receive this, a Mexican Heritage jersey presented by Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. And be sure to stay after the game for a post-game fireworks show. To purchase tickets and prepaid parking, visit whitesox.com/promos.
A new pitcher in the ball game. Yanier Cano on for the 37th time, a fine ERA just over 2. Sox looking for one more insurance. Apparently PitchCom is not working particularly well, so he's just going to throw it.
And Cano is going to tap at his head and say he's having issues.
Yep.
And the polar bear will give him his PitchCom device instead.
We'll watch it again. Right out of Rutschman's glove despite being a strike.
Nobody on base. I'm not against just flashing some signs.
It held up for a lot of years until PitchCom.
Tristan Peters, he will plunk this one into right field as we start this 9th inning.
Late runs, add-on runs, anything you can do to put a little more daylight between the ball club and these Orioles as Brian Hudson loosens in the pen. Three of the next 4 Oriole hitters hit from the left side.
Do you get aggressive here with Tristan Peters at first?
To me, it's a great hit and run situation. Thing with Cano is he's a sinker baller. Usually throws ground balls.
As they check on Peters.
Pretty quick move to first base by Cano.
I dropped 0 for 1, a couple of walks tonight. And the sinker lands, strike 2. White Sox broke the tie, putting up 2 runs in the 8th inning. And on the road against these Orioles, nothing is safe.
But another great outing by Grant Taylor. 2 innings, 6 hitters, a couple of strikeouts.
2-2. It's great to see that the bullpen is starting to show some consistency. Chris Murphy came out, did a nice job. Grant Taylor, as you said. Chop to the left side, and the backhand play not made by Henderson. Peters stops at third. Mydroth ends at second. And the White Sox threatening here in the ninth.
Henderson has had his problems this year at shortstop, but this is a very tough play. He elects to take it on the backhand, and it cost him. That one gets away into left field, and good hustle by Mydroth. He's in at second base. Now it forces the infield in at all four positions.
We came on the air talking about the defensive issues for the Orioles. That has been their Achilles heel so far this season.
One way or the other on that play, and I know what Henderson is thinking, but you're not going to turn two on that play anyway. It was a high chopper. And the Orioles have really had some problems in that department this year. Henderson comes into this game with 8 errors. Now, I don't think that's going to be an error.
Lined into right center field. Peters will score. They're sending in Mydroth as the throw comes to second. A 2-run single for Jacob Gonzalez, and much needed insurance runs here in the ninth for the White Sox.
Because of that sidearm delivery, left-handers see Cano very well. And through the drawn-in infield, this splitter taken right back by Holiday. A rocket into right center field. And that probably will mean that Hudson will not come into this game.
That will send Orioles fans to the exits.
I thought they were just coming in. I guess not. Looks like they're just going out. Brendan Eisert starting to loosen in the pen.
And Tanachi slashes this one. It's going to find the grass. The throw comes to second offline. A double for Antonacci. 4th straight hit to start this 9th inning for the White Sox.
Last inning, it was getting hit by the pitch. This inning, it's 4 straight hits. Sam in the gap in left center field, putting runners at second and third.
Two runs in the 8th, 2 more in the 9th, and the Sox aren't done yet.
That double's brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty, and the bullpen for the Orioles continues to work.
Infield in for Miguel Vargas. Feels like a big game for this White Sox team because you know the record on the road. It's a lengthy 7-game road trip, and just establishing a good effort here to start things off so key. On the ground it is Henderson, looks back the runner at third, and Vargas down, first out of the inning.
Well, also you factor in that the Orioles did come to our ballpark and sweep the Sox in a 3-game series. So this has been a troublesome club for the Sox. That's going to be it for Cano. He's going to leave this game with runners at second and third. Only 1 out here in the 9th. Sox lead by 4, looking for more. White Sox with Chuck Garfien on the White Sox podcast. Exclusive interviews, expert analysis, and behind-the-scenes access all in one place. Stream new episodes every Tuesday at 4 on the CHSN app. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead. Josh Walker comes on for the fourth time, ERA of 4.5. He inherits a drawn-in infield at all four positions. Runners at second and third. A 4-run deficit as the Sox look for more.
RBI double last time up for Colson Montgomery in the 8th inning.
That at the time a very big double. Drove home Antonacci with the go-ahead run, and it was a lefty-lefty situation for Colson.
Out in front of that one as he rips it foul. "13 go-ahead RBI this season. That leads the White Sox. Runners on at second and third with one out.
What's good about tonight for Colson is he's laid off a lot of high pitches. He hasn't been doing that lately. League was taking advantage of him, but if you start laying off those pitches, they got to get you out a different way. And he's proven to be pretty tough to get out.
Hands on the slider. Yeah, there's two down here in this 9th inning. So the infield moves back for Kyle Teal, who is 1 for 4. Done such a great job with the pitching staff navigating them through this lineup so far tonight. Never want to see a guy get injured, but maybe the best thing to come out of it, being able to sit on the bench and watch and be a part of meetings and not have to worry about playing. You can just ingest all that information.
There's a whole lot to know as a major league catcher.
And that one gets past Alexander at third. 1-1 in, another behind it as Antonacci touches the plate. As some boo birds coming out in Baltimore.
Well, they've seen this same defense and they see it on a nightly basis. They're going to give up a couple more unearned runs, and they already are second in all of baseball in giving up unearned runs. This is Squibber, and Alexander just can't knock it down. That's 8-2. And the fans have been all too familiar with defense like this.
Paper, the Orioles looked like they were going to be contenders to start this season.
Well, that's why they brought in Alonso. I mean, that for them was a big expenditure. He came over and he's doing everything he can do. I mean, so far you look at the numbers in his year and realize that he's living up to exactly who they thought he was, and he's better defensively than they thought. But with 19 and 58 on the power numbers, he's getting it done. And probably the Mets don't miss him.
Grichuk pops it up. Alonso coming in with Rutschman, and it's Alonso taking over to end this top of the 9th inning. White Sox put up a 4 spot and lead it 8-2.
Teal? Chicago Sports Network invites you to an exclusive Club 312 fan experience on July 10th. Your ticket includes a meet and greet, a photo with both players, plus a 2-month CHSN All-Access subscription. Don't miss out because tickets are limited. Get yours today at shop.chsn.com/club312.
That's a pretty cool experience.
There is no doubt about that as Brandon Eisert now takes over.
Fastball, strike one to Dylan Beavers.
Well, this was a tough and tight game all the way until the Sox scored 2 in the 8th and 4 in the 9th.
That one not called, but another challenge by Kyle Teal.
Ball, the catcher's challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Had almost the whole plate.
Strike, it's 0-2.
Bruce has had a bit of a tough night behind the plate tonight.
Junior Perez inserted into the game. In the left field, replacing Antonacci. Sinker just missing outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Fight for that one, hopping over seats.
You stay around this long, you might as well come away with a souvenir.
But it's funny because the dude who was the most aggressive already had a ball in his hand. Don't they know? Just find Connor.
That's it. I mean, he's been giving them away with regularity, except the last one that came in about 110 miles an hour.
Good pitch as Eisert gets out number 1 here in the bottom of the 9th.
Good little slider over the middle of the plate. It takes down Beavers, who's had a tough night at 0 for 4. Cowser's had a really good night in the field, but walked a couple of times, stolen a base. It's been a night of no contact so far with a strikeout to go with it.
Eisert trying to wrap this one up. As the slider lands strike 2, a game that was brilliantly started by Sean Burke. It's off 3 good outings in a row for him.
It was a great pitchers duel the whole way. Both starting pitchers were outstanding. Burke for the Sox. Boz for Baltimore. He went 7 innings.
This team just continues to show how tough they are late in ball games.
They haven't done a whole lot of this on the road this year. That's why this is so welcome. That and the fact that the Orioles, over the last 20 times they've seen them, have won 18 of them. So this has been a real troublesome baseball team for the Sox. And this one started out to be exactly one of those.
Sinker past him. Couple of strikeouts to start this bottom of the ninth for Eisert. And the White Sox need one more out to win this opener on the road.
There's been good pitching across the board, and one of the guys that got it done again, Grant Taylor. I mean, without his two, and his two came with the game on the line, Sox wouldn't be where they are right now.
White Sox pitchers now 4 strikeouts in a row. And a "Let's go White Sox" chant on the road. That's what we like to hear. In the 9th inning, the White Sox have a +13 run differential this season. That is strong.
A lot of Sox fans in attendance. And most of them will be here for 2 more.
One ball, 1 strike here to Blaze Alexander. And the Sox need 1 more strike to finish it off. This feels like this would be a huge monkey off the back. This is still a very talented Orioles team. They've got a lot of tough pieces.
Yeah, it's going to be a third of the monkey. There's still 2/3 left.
Sinker, we're going to have a challenge. This could be it. Called the ball. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
You got one in the bag, you might as well use it.
Oh!
And that's it.
Ball game. 5 straight strikeouts for the White Sox pitching staff to end this game. And the White Sox will snap a 9-game losing streak to the Orioles with an 8-2 win in the opener of this 3-game set.
A lot of very happy Sox players and coaches and the manager down in the dugout as the Sox come away victorious with some late runs and some wonderful pitching from starter Burke, then Murphy, Taylor.
AL Central, the White Sox with a half-game lead, and the Rangers have a 4-3 lead over the Guardians. That game currently in the top of the 9th inning. If that score holds, the White Sox would have a full game lead in first place.
Go Rangers. Long turnaround tomorrow. Get your rest anyway, and this one was pleasurable. I will see you then.
My guy. For Connor McKnight, Steve Stone, I'm John Schriffen. Thank you so much for spending your Monday night with us. Coming up after the break, we'll have White Sox post